Hi everybody, it is Earth Day!
Woo!
It is April 22nd, and this is an annual celebration that all of us here at the Solid Waste Authority celebrate. Usually we're out doing events or, we're doing something out in the community, but with everything going on right now, we figured that this would be a great way to still celebrate Earth Day and get the importance out there, but also doing it in a safe measure. So I'm going to kind of wait just a little bit and see if anybody hops on here. You can also leave comments while we're doing this. We're going to try to read them and answer any questions that you might have. But we're going to make this as fun and as memorable as we possibly can. And please, as soon as we can all kind of go back to normal, we hope that you can actually come out here in person and come on a field trip here yourself. It's really fun. Plus, you get to smell all the wonderful smells here. And so, but anyways, we'll go ahead and start. So behind me is one of the original landfills that started, and this started back in the 60s, 70s. So, your parents' diapers, your grandparents' diapers, this is all here. As we continue going on, you'll see that the hills get bigger. And it's because all of us produce so much waste every single day. One person can produce up to 5 or to 6 pounds of trash per day. So here we are at our scales house.
And that's for people that don't recycle, right? So if you recycle, which is like the better choice,
yes,
then we don't have to put it in a landfill, right?
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome. Okay. Awesome sauce.
Absolutely. So if you'll point to the scales house. So here we are at the scales house, and we get about 350 to 400 trucks per day, and each truck could weigh 10 tons, 12 tons, just depends on what kind of material they're bringing in. And so once they come in and they get weighed, they empty all their trash in the landfill, and then they get weighed as they exit the landfill as well. So that's how we know exactly how much trash is coming in and how much to charge them, because there is a cost to empty here at the landfill. Again, this is all just Horry County trash. We get a massive amount of trash here every day.
This is the only landfill in the county.
And it will be the only landfill. So we have to make it last as long as possible. Right now it's only estimated at about 2043. So once we do not have a landfill anymore, residents will have to pay taxes to have their trash shipped out of the county. So we as a county need to appreciate our landfill and appreciate not having that tax and make it last as long as possible and recycle as much as we can.
Woo-woo. Shall we continue?
Yes, we shall.
All right.
All right, so we are gonna move on forward here. And as we're doing this trip, we wanted to show you, especially for those adults watching, some products that we have here. And we are located off of Highway 90, and it is right kind of across the street from the Dollar General in the Lee's Landing stairway area. This is what we call a holding pond or a borrow pit, and we have multiple of these around the landfill. And this is used to just dig for dirt, and depending on what kind of dirt it is, depends on what we use it for. If it's like a dirt like coquina, we might use it for our road beds. We might use this dirt for daily cover. But we also, you can see over here, there's also water pumping out. And we also use this recycled rainwater to put on our road beds to help keep the dust out of the air.
We got alligators in that pond too.
Yes, we do. Here's all the mulch that we make on site, and the brown mulch and the red dyed mulch, which is over there, we have that for $60 a ton. There's also some black mulch right there. If you are just wanting to come and get some regular mulch, which has got some thicker chunks in it, we have that for only $20 a ton. One of our most popular items is our glass, which is right there, and it is beautiful. And it's pretty expensive, but you can actually come get a couple buckets for maybe 10 cents. But that is a very popular item, and you can use it for a lot of things. You can use it in your landscaping. A lot of people use it to put in the bottom of their flower beds to, help with the drainage. You can also put in fountains.
We need that water truck now.
We are actually driving on the glass right now. So if you see some of the road kind of shining up a little bit, that is the glass sparkling in the sun. Do you want to sing a song?
Let's totally sing a song. Hi, I'm Kendra. I'm the coordinator.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, recycle, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. It's your world and my world and your world and our world. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. It's just a little fun song that we like to share with our students whenever we do tours.
You guys can sing it back to us.
Yeah, and you can make it go as fast as you can, and that's a lot of fun. So here's our tires, and our tires are banned from the landfill. Those are one of the mandatory items that you have to recycle in South Carolina. And if for some reason, if there is a tire in the landfill, we have to take it out. But they do get recycled depending on which company gets it. You can make more like rubber mulch, but you can also turn it into like cell phone cases, mouse pads, or any kind of other material like that. I actually have a pair of earrings made out of that. And so this is our landfill. We have two different landfills. We have one over there, which is a construction landfill. We call it C&D for construction and demolition. And then we have this one, which is our MSW, which stands for Municipal Solid Waste. So I don't know if you can see, but there is a bird that's on the top of that green tarp right there. And that is actually a bald eagle. We have the most bald eagles in our county here at the landfill. We have about 30 to 40 estimated bald eagles. The state parks only have about 5 or 6. So if you ever want to see a bald eagle, please contact myself or Kendra. We would love to bring you on a tour, and hopefully we will get to see one. The baby bald eagles are all brown because it actually takes 3 years for their heads to turn white. And here is the landfill. So
it smells good today.
It does smell good today. So there's also a bunch of vultures here. The vultures come out here to just kind of eat anything they can. The eagles are actually out here to eat the seagulls, and the seagulls come out here to eat the trash. The crazy thing is that if you come out here during the summertime, you won't see hardly any seagulls. If you come out here in the wintertime, you will see a massive amount of seagulls. We call it a birdnado, as what all the students call it. And it is really crazy. So it is definitely a sight to see. But again, this is where all your trash goes. It does not go away. A lot of people have out of sight, out of mind. And they think, I can just throw it away, it's okay. But the problem is that this landfill fills up faster than what people realize. So we really try to just educate on recycling, how easy it is. There's another eagle right there. Yeah. But, and there's plenty of reasons why you want to recycle. Number one important reason is you want to protect our earth. Eventually, I don't know, I always point out the movie WALL-E. A lot of people have seen the Disney movie WALL-E. In the beginning of the movie, the earth was covered in trash, and people just didn't take care of it. And just driving down the road, you can see all the litter. The problem is here, even if the trash does come here on a windy day, we are outside, so it does get blown around, unfortunately. So it's always better to recycle, plus you're also saving energy. All that material gets turned into new things. So for example, a soda can, you can drink it, recycle it, and it only takes 60 days for that soda can to be back on the shelf being sold to the next consumer. Ooh, there's a bald eagle right there, Kendra.
That's a baby.
Yep, so that's a baby bald eagle, and we know that because his head and his tail is not white, and that's what we call a juvenile. So all of these that you see right here, we have a bunch of wells and a bunch of methane pipes all throughout the landfill. So what we do here at the Solid Waste Authority is we actually recycle that methane gas, which is your sneaky smell that you smell. All of that recycled methane gas is basically, in a sense, sucked out of the landfill. It's kind of like a big giant vacuum system. So all these pipes they all go through the landfill, and it's sucking out all of that gas, and it's turning it into electricity. We power about 5 to 6% of the county with recycled methane gas, which is incredible. We're the first ones in the state to do that, so we are super proud of that. So now we are going to go over this bridge right here, and I don't know if you can see, but there is actually a tunnel up underneath the bridge. Let me see if I can get it as we're going over. All right, let me put it over. So this tunnel, there it is right there. So this tunnel was built up underneath this bridge, and it was made especially for bears. We had to build that tunnel tall enough for bears to walk on 2 feet up underneath this. Whether or not they actually walk on 2 feet, I still have yet to figure that out. But that was a requirement. So we are approaching our yard waste facility, and if you go to an Horry County school, you will know about composting. So after lunch, all the students compost, and all that compost material will come here. We turn it into really good enriched soil, and that's some of the soil that I was showing you earlier. And the compost is $20 a ton, but if it has that enriched food scraps from the schools, then that is $30 a ton. So this is our mulch, where we make our mulch. So any landscapers or anybody that wants to just bring their trash to the landfill will come here, and this is where they empty everything. And you can see there's a lot of brown paper bags in this pile, and we have really tried to stress no plastic bags here recently. And the reason is because it goes in this wood chipper, which you can't really see, the excavator's in the way. But there is a wood chipper behind there, and it chips up all this material into that. So whenever those plastic bags go through that wood chipper, it creates so many different tiny, just little plastic pieces. You can just see them on the ground or whatever. And then that blows into the woods, and that's the last thing that all of us here at the Solid Waste Authority want to happen. And so we really just stress, use a compostable bag. That way it's not harmful to our environment. Our mission here, we always want to protect tomorrow's environment today, and that's what we strive to do every day. So we are going to approach the compost rows that I was talking about a minute ago, and you can actually see all the material that's in there. A lot of times, and I don't know, with schools being out, most of the time you can actually see the milk cartons in these rows. but we haven't had, you know, a pickup in a long time. So I'm not sure if we can see any, but these rows, all the material will stay in these rows for about 90 to 120 days. Once the temperature rises to about 170 degrees, then it'll start decreasing back down to 140 or so. But once it starts decreasing, we know that the decomposition is starting to complete, and we can pull it off these windrows. We then put it through this machine, and this is what we call a sifter, and it's kind of like a big dryer in a sense. And you can see there's two different conveyor belts. So one conveyor belt shoots off that beautiful, rich, good looking soil right there. I don't need that in my garden. And then you can see that other pile right there. It's got a lot of contamination in it. So instead of just, you know, throwing that away, because we don't like to throw anything away here, unless, you know, it's a diaper or something like that. But this will actually be used for daily cover. So every day after the trash comes in, we cover it with dirt. It could be a dirt from the holding pond that I had talked about earlier, or it could be dirt like this. And we cover it for multiple reasons. We cover it to help with the smell, because we want to trap all the methane gas into the landfill. And we also do it for the animals. We don't want to have a big like rat infestation or bears, or, you know, we want to keep our employees safe. You know, we have had foxes or coyotes before, and, you know, we just don't want that. So yeah, we also do it for the litter too. We want to, you know, keep that trash in the ground. We don't want it to be blowing everywhere. You know, there are times where we have big windstorms, and it does go everywhere, and we try our very best to get that up, because we do not want that. So this is a big pile of the compost that was made. And then real quick, I'll shoot over here. So we got a lot of extra land over there, and all that land is for the natural disaster. If there was to be a natural disaster, we have extra land set aside for that, because this yard waste area over here will get pretty full pretty quickly. Again, we're going back over our bear tunnel. Now we are going to go up another hill. Again, these are not just regular man-made hills. I really want to point that out. These are the highest points in Horry County, between this hill and the other hill. It's about 117, 120 feet above sea level, and it will eventually go to 270 feet above sea level, which is crazy, because as soon as we get up here, you will actually see exactly how high we are, and you can actually see the hotels from the top of the landfill. So there's one of those pipes that I was talking about earlier. Excuse the bumps, and get kind of bumpy. Then I'll pass the phone over here to Kendra, because she's got some stuff she wants to talk to y'all about over here.
Skirt. Hi y'all. I'm going to show you our beautiful lake on this side of the landfill. But also you'll notice there is a swimming pool type container down there. It is not a swimming pool, folks. We are not going swimming in that. That is disgusting. That is garbage juice, or what is called leachate, from the landfill. If you've ever noticed when you take your garbage out, and if you've ever ripped the bag and got that juice on you, that's not fun. That's leachate, and it's kind of stinky. So we capture that, because nobody wants floating garbage and leaching out into the swamps and the surrounding areas. So we take that and we flush it. It's like a giant toilet. It holds 180,000 gallons of leachate, and it will flush it to Grand Strand Water and Sewer. So I'm going to drive a little bit more, and V's going to fill you in on the only mountains in Horry County.
You heard it here, folks. These are our mountains in Horry County. So as we get to the top, you can see just how high we are. again, we're about 120 feet up in the air. We are above all the trees, and you can see our green power facility.
There we go. So this is our green power. We have 3 engines. This is a partnership with C.T. Cooper and Horry Electric and the Solid Waste Authority. And again, methane gas is captured with these containers, these engines, and is converted into electricity. So this electricity goes back into the main power grid, and methane gas makes up 7% of the electricity in Horry County, which is pretty cool. So it's like recycling. We're taking something old and yucky and stinky and turning it into something new. So this is really cool. So there is a vulture right there. Fun fact of the day for vultures: they have red heads, and their defense mechanism is to throw up on you, folks. So therefore, if you see a vulture, do not approach it. So if you can see, yes, you can see. Okay, so those little tiny squares above the trees, those are actually hotels all the way from Myrtle Beach. Again, we are in Conway off of Highway 90. So you can see all the way towards the beach. And then if you even look up further this way, those are hotels all the way up around like Highway 22 area. You can see that far just from where we are at. Again, we are only 120 feet up in the air. We will be 270 feet up in the air. So what will happen when it gets that high?
We will have to stop and close it down because the airport is so close to us too that we cannot go any higher because disrupt flight patterns. Those airplanes come really close to us as they're landing into the airport. So we will cut it off at 270 feet. Here is another view of where your trash goes. So, woo!
It's bad.
Woo-wee! I don't know how much more of this we can Usually when we come on tours, the windows will be rolled up. But for your viewing pleasure, I have rolled my window down and I am engulfing all this pleasurable smells. But as you can see, that trash truck, he is going to empty out his material. They spread it. We have what we call a compactor, and it's got really spiky wheels, and all it does all day long, basically, it just goes over the trash and compacts it as tight as we possibly can get it. We want to conserve as much space as we can in the landfill. And then that big old dirt pile that you see on the left, that is dirt that will go on top of the trash at the end of the day. So again, we want to keep the methane in the ground. We don't want to have any kind of litter blowing anywhere. And we want to try to keep our animals safe. Unfortunately, animals do eat plastic. I'm sure you've heard the stories of the ocean life and everything, but when these animals eat this material, what ends up happening is that their bodies can't digest it, and they actually end up starving to death, which is very sad, and we definitely want to prevent that as much as we can. I will point out something like this. So plastic bags. Plastic bags are always a hot topic, and a lot of people have questions about plastic bags. Please do not throw plastic bags away. If you do throw them away, this is probably what's going to happen. They are so light that they get picked up by the air and they blow very easily. So if you throw it away, please have it,
Make sure something's in it.
Yeah, like, a kitty litter bag is probably one of the most popular things. Or just reuse it as a trash bag. Put some weight into it. That way it has more of a chance to survive, in the landfill, I guess, staying in what we call our working phase. But the best thing to do is just recycle it. And the only way that you can recycle it is to take it to the store. I know a lot of grocery stores, Walmart, Target, there's all kinds of stores that take this material, or you can really get crafty and, make something out of it. Kendra, you've made a rug before, right?
Yes, I have. And it is so fabulous.
And how many bags did it take?
760.
Okay, so if
it was a lot of bags, but it's a fluffy mat that we've given to homeless folks.
Yeah.
So, it's rain resistant and light.
And speaking of turning trash into treasure, we will be doing a craft.
Yes, we are going to be doing a craft. It's the Earth Day planter, and we're going to be using water bottle and some dirt and some soil, and we're going to be planting a plant. And you guys can tune in with us and make it with us, because we're going to do another live Facebook Live video, because we just can't get enough of you guys today, because we're super excited about being Earth Day. We need everybody to share with us. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm going to flip it.
Yes. Yeah, so y'all come back in about 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and drive safely back onto the office, but we have a craft. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If you don't have any kind of flower seeds or anything like that, just get a bean. From what I've heard, you can put a bean, in there, and it'll sprout up a little bit. But it's a really good way to also show your students, to grow their own vegetables. Or, it could be a flower, though. But and just the importance of composting in general. So, anyways, come back in 30 minutes. We'll be back on here doing another Facebook Live for you. And in the meantime, happy Earth Day.
Woohoo! Reduce, reuse, recycle, folks.